19-inch desktop open frame rack. I'm going to show you how to install a Cisco 2600 series router into it. But first, I must fix my bracket because there's no way my panel screws are going to fit into this bracket. It's bent. So I'm going to use my needle nose pliers, bend it back, and then I'm going to check to see if my panel screw fits into the bracket, and it does. So let's continue on, shall we? Alright, got to line up my brackets for my 2600 router. Make sure you have the proper bracket too, because between these different routers and switches, they use a lot of different brackets. The 1841 bracket is different than the 2600 bracket, and the Catalyst 2950 switch brackets won't work at all with the routers. So you got to have this particular bracket. They're available on eBay, and they're quite reasonable. They're like under $10 for a set, including the shipping. So there you have it. You got the brackets on there. We're ready to go. Let's go look at our rack to put in our M5 cage nuts. You gotta make sure you got your flathead side of your screwdriver ready to go. And we're gonna just pop it in to place, and then use the flathead screwdriver to click it into place, so the sleeves fit onto the post. Now don't do what I did just there. I don't know why I didn't notice this the first time, but there should only be one space in between the screws for the 2600 router. That's not going to work. That is going to make too much space. I'm not going to be able to fit the brackets on, and we'll fix that in just a second. Oh yeah, look at me there trying to mount it. Yes, I did not do that on purpose. I'm looking at that. The left side is correct. You'll notice there's only one space in between the cage nuts. But on the right side, I noticed that, yeah, that's not going to work. See that? I got the finger going. Yep, did that wrong. Sorry. All right, we can take it out just as easy. It's like the reverse process. Just stick the flathead screwdriver back in there. You know, once in a while, you're going to need to remove the cage nuts. So, you know, you just pop it out and then just pop it back in. Now, there we go. Now it's in the correct spot. See, only one space instead of two. Now I'm doing guiders here. I'm using the M5 screws so I can kind of hold my router into place. It makes it much easier to put it in than trying to like balance your router and doing the screws at the same time. You know, put the screws in, then let your router rest right on top of them. Like just put the brackets right down, and it makes it much easier. I'm using my leg to balance it so, you know, it doesn't fall back. Sorry, so the router doesn't fall back. But yeah, it's much easier to do it that way. To, you know, do the guide screws on the bottom first, and then, you know, tighten the rest. And then like the last screw is a piece of cake because all the other screws are pretty much holding the router in place. But I like to go back and forth, make sure it's tightened securely. The reason I like using a 12U rack is because I live in California. And I'm definitely scared of earthquakes. I haven't had a big earthquake since 1989, but I know the next one is coming. That's why I prefer 2 or 3 12U short racks over, let's say, a taller 30 or 40U rack. And that thing's going to be 2 or 3 times as heavy as a single 12U rack. And if that thing fell over, it would just be no good. Just checking to make sure it's secure.